Hey, this is Robbie Jeanette with Keyboard Magazine. I'm here with Pete Harper from Harper Blynn, and I guess this would be the Blinterview.
It would.
Thank you.
That's the first use of that ever.
You guys are a keyboard and guitar band, but you play both on stage, sometimes in the same song as we just saw on Soundcheck.
Yeah. I mean, it's easiest to make all the sounds I want if I can just hold everything at the same time.
So you guys started as a duo.
Yeah, we
playing
did.
songs around the New York, Brooklyn area.
Yeah, we were playing around New York, and then we started traveling just in like in a Toyota Corolla. And
a Corolla is a fine touring vehicle.
it is. It was great.
So have you always played keys and piano your whole life?
No. I mean, I played when I was a kid. I took piano lessons for a year, and then just because my mom made me do it.
Nice.
And then I quit, and then I started doing it again maybe 4 or 5 years ago. I just picked up again because Jay and I both played the guitar, and I was like, well, that kind of limits what we can do. Like, it would be good if someone wanted to play piano. So
Did you guys flip a coin, or
I just bought one. I was like,
was it the Nord that you bought, or?
I bought a Yamaha Motif, which was not the right touring rig. I mean, I didn't know what I was doing. I was like, this looks like it has a lot of cool sounds.
Right.
And we were doing all kinds of stuff. Like, I was like, I want to try all these different things. And
What made it not the right keyboard, though?
Well, it's just really big. I'm also one of the lead singers in the band, so it's like it's more about the show than it is about me replicating the sounds exactly.
And what the song needs can be done on
one keyboard, and the Nord was the one that was like, okay, that's got a good Rhodes sound, it's got a good piano sound. I can make the synth sounds I want. But I play it through a 1970 Fender Pro Reverb. So
1970 Fender Pro Reverb piano sound as well.
The piano sound too. So it's a little bit like, the key and the thing.
Yeah.
That you can, because it's just. But you don't have to ever tune it,
right?
Like and we don't have roadies, so it's like we can do that. And then the Rhodes and the synth also. Usually I'll go DI and then also in the amp, so I can blend the tunes.
Nice. We got the rest of your band coming over here.
Hey dudes.
Hey. We stand in the alley outside the Troubadour.
It's Jay.
Jay.
Hi.
Jay, the letter J.
Hey man.
Jay,
how are you, Robbie?
Robbie.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Camera.
You guys have amazing harmony vocals.
Oh,
so I'm sure from playing shows around together and singing a lot together, you got tight. But when you guys first sang together, did it just sound as good as it does, or?
No, I wouldn't say it sounded like it does now. And I think it was we were in college together, and we were kind of the only songwriters that we knew, that each other knew, basically. So
nobody else was doing music at all, or people were doing beats and stuff?
People were doing music, but it was a lot of like jazz, and I was in that world. I was studying music.
So you knew when you were looking for a rhythm section, you had a good idea of what you wanted in a drummer, obviously, and a bass player. And how did the music change once you got the rhythm section in terms of not just adding the instruments, but your writing?
I don't think our process changed too much. I mean, we sort of like to think about it, we're still writing folk songs and just kind of arranging them differently. And there are obviously certain things that work with a full band that don't really work.
It just opened up the possibilities.
Now you're playing songs off The Loneliest Generation, which is the title of your record and single, which is a great song. If you guys haven't seen the video out there, you must check it out. I love the whole concept, chopping down the tree and getting up with your
stumping
with the top hat. You guys kind of find each other.
We fall in love, as like people have coined.
Hey,
like it's the story of when Pete and Jay fell in love.
It's a bromance.
Exactly.
It's a bromance,
and that's okay.
But from like the 1860s.
Epic bromance. And then whenever we meet new members, we do a choreographed dance. That's sort of
With the keyboard abilities that you've now, the past couple of years been bringing into the band, are you like looking over at Pete and saying like, wow, now that I have this kind of color on the palette, we can use this for painting the music more, or?
Yeah, absolutely. I think there was a day about 4 years ago when we were spending a summer freeloading at my parents' house when we both said, let's go get a keyboard. And we did.
You're using the Nord Live, you guys are jamming and touring around and stuff like that, and you're playing the songs from the record that exists already, obviously. Are you also being able to write new tunes on the road or work out new material on the road?
We sort of have
about half of our set is
we have
new stuff.
A lot of new tunes that we sometimes it's hard to work new tunes into a set when you just put a record out.
Yes.
Like it's less than 4 months and we're like, all right, let's play all our new songs, which is always the case. But we've got a lot of them coming from both of us, so we've been able to get half of our set is those new tunes, just because it's whatever the most effective show we can do on a night-to-night basis.
Right.
Do it.
I mean, if things even go remotely well for this record, it's just the beginning. Writing the songs.
So we're sort of taking this opportunity, like we can do what we want at this moment.
Yes.
And there are a handful of songs, and if we don't play them, it's kind of dumb. Some of the songs that I know. But other than that, I think it's always the case. I'll just try out something to try out. New audiences.
what's the song that, or songs that seem to be resonating the best with audiences? Because you must be playing to some people that are just kind of coming to see a new band and see what you guys are all about.
Yeah, it's pretty much always that way at this point. You know, especially on this tour, because with Carrie and Greg, we've hit a lot of new markets.
Cool.
The places we've never played in. So, I mean, fortunately, like most of the new stuff is actually resonating the best with people. I would say we've generally been opening with a new song.
A new song. Like just going really well.
Or we start. I mean,
and we're doing a cover of Halo.
Yeah, which I've seen online, which is great.
Which is also just
it's another video you have to look up online.
That's which is just going so well, and that's part of that's the fact that it's
we love
a song that people know.
Yes,
and part of it is that I think what we do is so awesome. Which
fun to play, right?
Which I think which I kind of like saying on stage, only because it's such a ridiculous song to do, and the reaction from people for the first 15 seconds is always like, oh no, like really it's happening, and then after a minute they're always like, all right.
Yeah. What have people been telling you they hear in your music in terms of influences? What are some things?
All over.
Yeah, it's all over the map.
I mean,
it's probably the best thing. They're like, you're just like ELO or something.
Yeah,
I mean, Badfinger sometimes.
That was more like a while ago that we got Badfinger all the time. It's sort of people respond. It's like generationally, Like there's some staples that we get on a regular basis when they like the Beatles. Like people generally, I think people go for it's like when they think you look like somebody, it's because you have the same color hair. It's like they think they're like
I look like Art Garfunkel.
Yeah, so they're like Simon Garfunkel looks like Art Garfunkel when we sing in harmony, or like the Beatles, or Crosby, Stills and Nash. Like bands are like, oh, there's a lot of harmonies in that.
We'll get like Toto and Sprocket too.
Yeah.
What's the most surprising reference somebody's given you, and what's the thing that you like surprised that nobody said? Like
jellyfish.
Yeah, totally. But I think that's a vocal. That falls into the category of music that I don't know.
Jellyfish.
Yeah, they're a band that I went to. Similar to Simon Garfunkel. I knew 2 of their songs.
Right.
But once people started saying it, we're like, maybe they should go check all that out.
Yeah.
If apparently we sound like that.
The vocal harmonies and a lot of the bouncy pop and keyboards and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What have you discovered that somebody's said, oh, you sound like this, and you went and listened to it? Now it's like something you can't believe you lived without.
I mean, I think Paul Simon was like that.
Yeah.
I started really listening to a few. Like
solo
I listened through like Bridge Over Troubled Water, bookends, and I was like, I didn't really know Within the Saints. Like I didn't really know some of his songbook stuff.
Yeah.
How did I claim to be a songwriter without knowing his songs?
Indeed. And what is it about the Beatles that they did like every chord change first? So like again, if you do more than 1, 4, 5, you like the Beatles.
I mean, I think they were just really the best.
Yeah. But, and they were. It was right time.
It was a moment,
and they had the right curiosity.
You have someone that's going to be intensely melodic like Paul McCartney, and someone who's intensely artistic and experimental like John Lennon, and they rub off on each other. And you end up with John Lennon's songs being more melodic and McCartney's songs being more experimental, and then you've got this thing that could never have existed if it was one guy thinking he was the best.
So
doing it all.
Do you guys write together, or do you write separately and kind of bring in for the other's feedback, or
it's both? Yeah, it's kind of all over the spectrum.
Well, this is awesome. We're gonna go back inside hopefully after this band is sound checking and check out the Nord a little bit. Maybe hear a couple of keyboard parts, a couple of tunes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. Well, see you inside.
All right, sounds good.
See you in a second.